Mhm. Hello, lovelies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm on here to talk about something very interesting. Couple things coming up this week. So we got the full moon coming up on Thursday, as well as I have the golden elixir, and I'm not going to tell you which one, but my new color therapy elixirs will be coming out. So the color elixirs, everything still works by just simply if you want to participate in this, you have to have a glass of water and it is transferred into your glass of water, or if you have a dropper that you want it into and work with it on a dropper form. So this is the way I do my work. And when you work with me as one-on-one, as a client, seeing me for my spiral line consultations, that also you get your elixirs with your work. So, and it starts helping you to make your changes. And I'm constantly always checking in with you to see how you're feeling once you start having shifting and things moving through. So, those are the things for later on this week. Also, I just put up my video for message on the consciousness on my Instagram page, and you can go and check that out. It is quite funny. And you have to watch it. Oh my gosh. I actually was laughing my butt off on Instagram. Okay. So, and also, I'm just going to put this as a disclaimer. I do not go and call you up and ask you if you want to read, and I don't send emails to you to ask you for a read. People that I know privately, if they send me a message and they're asking for a read, there's certain things I ask to make sure that they are not an AI person, because I got to ask that now, or then make sure they're not somebody that's going around trying to scrape. And scraping is the terminology where they make a duplicate of the account and they're going around pretending to be you. And you've been doing that to a lot of people. So just know, FYI, I don't do that. People know how to go to the webpage of galacticspirallight.com. They know how to go over there and email me and ask for the info. And even then, I'm still going to put you through tests to make sure you're who you are. And all of my things that I do, I have a certain way that I accommodate my clients. And I tell that person when they make contact with me, I tell them what that way is so they know. Okay. So just FYI, you. And you always have the right to say, well, if you're this person, then start asking them questions. If they don't have an answer, don't give them any money. Start asking questions. Okay. So those are the two things coming up this week. Um, Feeling really, really busy on all of a sudden I just started getting floods of people wanting to get in for consultations, needing to work on themselves, needing to clear themselves of energy. And you're still doing the work. I just work with the higher self to help boost that in through your body so that spiral light gets in there and helps you clear out. And you might pay for a session, but just know that session really does last you for a good 2 to 3 weeks. You're going to be feeling things for that amount of time because your body's making shifting. It actually opens up the door so that you can make change. And if you're not afraid of making change, then definitely I would say partake in that. Um, but all my information, everybody knows how to contact me and do that. So let me tell you about the dream I had. And the dream was a trip. Okay. So everybody, I had somebody, I think this is probably why the dream happened, but someone had made the comment and said, oh, that he's being indicted, da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't believe the hype. And I'm not following anything political. I don't want to. I don't have anything to do with it because I don't care. It's not a part of my realm because I consider myself a Stargate priestess, my Sundance way here on the earth. I work with my benevolent divine beings, and I'm a galactic citizen. I already made that known years ago. I already signed up for that. And I don't I don't play around with lower vibration xenomorphs. I don't have time for that. So the reason why I say that is because we have to be very, very cautious of what energies are making themselves look like, okay, to fool you. So I always make sure every morning I'm with the higher divine source, divine God. How that looks to me, Mother, Father, God, a benevolent light, the one true creator that created everything. All right. There's some people that always try to put labels on this being. You can, but it's still the same being, you know? So I say that because I'm watching certain things happen. And I saw this, I don't know who this guy was, but it came up on my feed and I said, "Oh yeah, that's right. I was told about this, that they were going to start doing this witch hunting stuff." You know, anybody that was doing healing arts, anybody that's into crystals, anybody that was doing their cards, anybody that walked the earthy way and being a spirit person. Hold on, because it will announce again. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyone that doesn't think and function because it's a time loop energy. It's a time loop energy of the old belief system of Christianity. And it kind of shocks me that it would come in around this time because of the fact that it really should be on the higher timeline, which is the higher divine timeline. But this energy is doing this looping, witch hunting, accusatory, judgment, you know, burn a witch, hang a witch, drown a witch, bull crap. Um, it's that kind of timeline energy. Now, here's the thing: we can take that consciousness that's just whipping around out there in this artificial timeline and just condense it down and transmute it and neutralize it because it is tied to our ancestors. And Mia Magic says it best, and thank you, Mia, for all the work that you do. Um, she really dived in and talked about the true meaning of Easter and how it was stolen and how it was brought into Christianity and put into that form. And it's the truth of that. But here's the deal: right now, we're in the healing. We have to heal a lot of things that have happened to our ancestors. And I'm not talking about the black race ancestors. I'm not just talking about them. I'm not just talking about the red ancestors. I'm not just talking about the yellow ancestors. And I'm not just talking about the white ancestors. I'm talking about the ancestors of the earth when they first were here. That's what I'm talking about. All those who had this affliction done to them. Okay. Thank you, because we are in this Aquarian timeline, and because we're moving into this place of flipping, there needs to be a healing. Now, how many of you have experienced when somebody apologizes to you and they say it from their heart and they apologize for how they treated you, how they hurt you, whatever it is? When you get that apology, there's an energy that surges through you And it's almost like it lifts up whatever wrong was done to you or hurt you. Okay, correct? So if your ancestors of your bloodline, I want you to think right now, just go close your eyes and just know you're connected to your ancestors and what they had to go through and endure. And if you are a natural born healer, a creative being who creates, who loves doing what they do, and then you have someone that comes along and wants to get rid of you because they don't want you to be that way, they want you to be a certain way. I want you to just think about what that person was feeling, afraid to be themselves, afraid, if they get discovered, oh my God, they're gonna kill me, Oh gosh, if I have a plant of herbs and I'm using herbs to make medicine to heal my body, then oh, that's bad. That's witchery. I'm going to be condemned to hell. This is the consciousness energy as a collective that's looping around out there right now. It has to come up in order to be healed, and there has to be a healing, and there has to be a acknowledgement of wisdom that comes through. Everybody has a right to believe in the way they want to believe, in the way they walk. Some people walk left, some people walk right. Okay? That is their choice and that is their path. It is not okay for someone to judge how that person shows up, because I have personally felt that from people that I thought 100% were totally, supportive of anything that I was doing. And then I come and find out later, oh, they really don't support what I do. They secretively have a animosity towards me because I'm not like them and I don't think and function like them. But do you see me out there hurting anybody? Do you see me out there, I don't know, attacking, killing in the name of God? Do you see me doing that? These are the things that were done to a lot of people on this planet. And that energy, that timeline is being healed. And the way that gets healed is by those of us that are doing our work, that are doing our soul journey, that is here to do our soul journey. We honor our mission. We honor our journey. If you are a yoga practitioner or a Reiki practitioner, a tarot reader or an oracle reader or a light speaker, a light language speaker that does everything through the divine light and you're doing your soul purpose, you're here, you're completing your mission. You're a part of that healing. You're a part of that healing for that timeline. So we can heal that timeline and help transmute that energy so that it doesn't keep circulating around and attaching itself to people who want to still participate in that kind of looping energy. Okay. So this is what's so important right now, that these type of timelines get healed, because whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, our ancestors' bones are in Mother Earth. All of them, from thousands of years ago up to now. Their bodies, their ashes lay within the earth. Some were never found, but they lay within the earth. So every day we're walking upon this concrete. We're walking upon the grounds where our homes are, our stores are, our churches, our temples, our sacred temples. A lot of these temples that were taken over back in the day were turned into churches. So can you imagine what is laying underneath certain big churches, what kind of memory is laying there. Imagine that. So the reason why I say this is because that timeline is out. And I watched what this person did to this young lady who had her shot. And I guess she knew he was going to come by and interview her. And then I can see it on her face. She says, "Oh, here we go. Another one of these witch hunting things." I can see it on her face. I can't remember what it was. It was here on YouTube. And this guy, he goes into people's shops, and you could see it was so disrespectful how he went in there. First of all, if if that's not your path, why are you in there? If it's not your path, why are you in there? And so he goes in, and he's before she comes out to greet him, he's already going through, "Look at this. This is so demonic. This is da, 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 da," And I'm like, wow, look at that. How is he collectively helping in the whole? He's not. He's not. He's not. You know. And then she goes ahead and greets her, and she obviously is a nice young lady. She's doing her stuff. She owns her own spiritual shop. He comes in and he's doing all of this. Now, I'm not saying that everyone that owns a spiritual shop is a good person. They are coming from a good way. There are some out there that are hurting people, that are putting negative energies on people, making people come back and forth to them, and they're not getting their problems solved. They're taking all this money from people and their homes, their cars, and stuff like that because they got this person solely believing that they are the rescuers to their problem. When really, when you look at the whole picture, you are the antidote to your problem. You created it, you get rid of it. Period. Rather it's physical, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. But some things you need assistance in because if it's ancestral or generational, sometimes you need an elder of medicine, divine ways, that sits in a good way, that walks in a good way, to come and assist you in healing that or helping you to look for an avenue of how can you heal that. And I really trust the fact that people who really walk in that way, they would offer that in a good way. Okay. So because we're in this, I call it the sacred 44 days, the holiness days. It brings a lot with it. It has the resurrection of self that comes up. How are we How did we die during winter? What part of ourselves died? And now what part of ourselves is resurrecting? How are we stepping into that divine resurrection of ourselves? I wrote about that on my blog, you know, the divine resurrection of magic. What does that really mean to be divine in ourselves, our higher selves, being connected to our higher self? And really making a change that's for the whole benefit of everyone. And how does creator show up for you? There is no right or wrong. There's only just experience that we choose to experience, depending on what that is. So I really am inviting everyone because we're approaching, we got that doorway coming in of Good Friday, and then we have the true Astara, the true Easter moment of energy that's coming in. That's already here. And how's that showing up for you in your life? How are the divine ones gathering and healing those timelines so that you are whatever your ancestors experienced at the time, you are able to be a part of that healing and allow that healing to come through. Okay. So with that being said, I don't consent to anyone's negativity or energy from darker beings that may see this message and sending out negativity. I don't consent to your energy. So keep that to your own entities. So, and I say that because there's such a higher increase of negative energy beings attaching to people. And it's a little freaky to watch some people that I've known for a long time, and I can see certain attachments on them, and those attachments come out from behind their neck. And when I see one kind of look at me and smile, and then it goes back into their back, I kind of look at that and I go, oh, wow. And then when that happens, I kind of do this, kind of step back a little bit. Because some people have noticed I'll do that with them. I'll step back a little bit. And then I just wait and I cover myself in divine God light to make sure that whatever that thing is on that person doesn't think it has an invitation to me, period. Okay. So if you experience that and you know somebody that you know for a long time, but you're starting to see weird things happening to them and they're changing, and it's not for the best. They're like really negative. They watch a lot of negative stuff. They're constantly like the drama energy around them is chaotic. Nothing ever is flowing right for them. It's always something chaotic. It's not smooth. It's never that kind of energy. You might want to take a step back. Okay, just take a step back because that's the timeline energy that they're on. And if they're doing anything that causes them to be a host, like take a couple steps back. So I'm just saying. So I bring that up because there's so much going on energetically. And we really have to use discernment. Where's our energy? Where's our light of ourself going? Okay. Where's our light? Get that rose water out. Get that if you make your own holy water, or if you do go to a church and you have holy water, get that blessed water out and bless yourself up. Because we are in those times. And there are many, many people who are under the spell of darkness that are walking around doing things. Okay. I'll leave it like that. That's the best way to say it. So now let me tell you about the dream of T. Okay, everybody knows what I mean by T. And just for the record, I am not supporting anything that's political. I don't care about that stuff. When I first a couple of years ago, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, da, 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 da. But then as you get your codes and you get higher up in your light, you start to see things the way they really are. You start to see the game. You start to see the shadow play. You start to see all that. You start to see how other people are manipulated to play the shadow game and to put the information out there that's not true, and fear mongering and all this stuff. So in this dream, and remember, I don't even think it was a dream. I think it was a message. So right now on the artificial timeline, I'm going to use it that way, of Earth, not the new timeline, the artificial timeline of the third and fourth dimension, we have T, who is being, you know, and because he's being, everybody that is for that is saying either yay, and then the ones that are really for T are saying, what the hell is going on? But in the dream, I went up and I was in this very, very high up place, high in the sky, beyond skies of skies in the dream. And it was a beautiful ship that I was on, decked out to the T. It was really nice. And I said, oh, I've been on this ship before. We had meetings on this one. Da, 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 da. So I'm walking through. And I said, I need to talk to T. What the hell's going on? I said, they got your, like in Vampire Diary, your doppelganger down there going through the motions. He turns around and says to me, "Oh, yes, I know." And then I see Melania. She's coming up on the side, and I was like, "Oh, everybody's up here." I said, "Cool." And they don't look like their normal selves. You know what I'm saying? They don't look like like normally perceive them down here in a human form. They looked entirely different, really tall. Okay, keep in mind how the sun is super tall. Okay, okay, keep that in mind. There's certain beings that are that tall. So I was just like, "What are you gonna do about that? How is this helping the people?" He goes, "Don't worry." And I said, "Well, I hope you're keeping an eye on everything." And this is the words he says: "I have the best seat in the house. I see everything all at once. I know everything that's being done. And I have the best seat in the house. I see it all. Everything." And I said, "Okay, good. Well, then, with that being said, then I will just go on my ambassadorial way and do my priestess thing of the stargates and keep everything in alignment with the stargates." And he goes, "Good." And I said, "Thank you." I went on and left. And when I woke up, I was like super drenched and nightgown, sweat everywhere. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta get out of my house and change my clothes." So I said, interesting. And it stayed with me. That's funny. You know how we've been having problems with certain dreams you can't remember until something triggers it, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, that's what I dreamt about." This one stayed with me because it's the way he said, "I have the best seat in the house. I can see everything all at once. I see everything." I was like, "Okay." And I left it at that. So whatever that message is, I kind of just look at it and I just kind of look at everything how it's unfolding on what timeline they're doing that on. And even anything dealing with astrology on certain timelines. Okay, well, certain timelines in astrology shows that when these planets come in action and they do this and this and this, that they bring about war. Okay, so I want you to think about this. If you have an astrology and you're looking at a timeline of astrology that shows when these planets come in interaction, they haven't done it for like hundreds and hundreds of years, but then it happens, and then this is when we get this change. That is true to a point. But if you have a new timeline and a new timeline vibration of energy that Mother Earth is moving into, and she's doing it whether we like it or not, and you either go with her or forget it and stay your butt back. You either move forward with her or you don't. That's 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 the spiritual soul contract right now. You're either going to move with her or you're not. Okay, what choice are you making? So the astrology now, and it makes so much divine sense. If she's literally moving energetically into her higher dimensional energy, does that or does that not make the astrology of what we're used to seeing, does it make it true or not? Got you thinking. Do you think the old still applies to the new? Because if you're moving in a newer frequency and you're shifting, everything is shifting. It all is not staying the same. So wherever your frequency and your vibration is, thank you, is where you're going to see it and you're going to experience it. You're going to see it the most because that's where your vibration is. If your frequency and vibration is moving with Mother Earth into those higher timelines, then you're seeing newer things, which means you have to acclimate to that frequency. You have to be calibrated to that frequency. There's a lot of purging that's going on in the body. There's a lot of releasing going on in the body to help you anchor in deeper into that energy. Does that make sense? So pay attention to how you see that. When you see certain things, go in, connect to that higher self, your divine self, up into the divine. What's true or not? Because this is where we are right now. And you have to really use discernment. Okay? So, check out the read on Instagram. It was funny, but it was really, really good. So now I'm going to do this read over here from a galactic point of view. And I'm going to use the same cards because I want to see what the cards do. And what's the message from a galactic point of view for all of us on a soul level. That one was a consciousness read for the week. Let's take a look for this week on a soul level, on a consciousness level. Okay? And the time is going by so fast. Have you noticed that? Forget it. Once 3 o'clock hits here, it's over with. Okay. Thank you for joining me on Be So Light. My name is Priestess Makala, as well as Alicia, as well as Niana. You choose and pick. Same person. But thank you for joining me here. Thank you, my new subscribers. Thank you, all of you that have been really supportive of the new elixirs that are coming out. And I am just really staying in my prayers and my meditation on keeping things in divine alignment and staying in service, because sometimes it's been a struggle to just kind of keep going because there's so many things going on. But every time I wake up, I get a new message from somebody that says thank you so much, or I'm so grateful that you are doing what you're doing and it's helped me. And and I just keep it going. I just be of service, and I do my part. And everybody else has to understand this: you are the solution to your problem, point blank, period. Okay, you're the solution to it. So every time when we're trying to blame and put the blame on something, and I hate it when I hear things like God did this to me. No, what did you manifest? Don't be blaming God for your stuff. God didn't do that. God always wants the best for you. So Creator will come in and intervene if you are going to do something that's not right and going to show you a better picture, a better route. All right. So cosmic energy wise, we're looking at, wow, there's a lot of moving on. We got the same thing. This is good. This is really good. This is good. Okay. So we got the shadow card, 18. And when you look at this picture, you see kind of like this person's light, and then you see the darker one. There's two, but they look the same. That's what we have going on right now. We have the light and the dark opposing each other, playing games with each other. But you know what? It's the 18. That's a 9 energy that's coming to an end because we're moving on. But that's at 8. Even though we're moving on emotionally and we're setting into a new path, that 8, the abundance, the prosperity that comes in, that is moving on. So there's a lot of changes going on, and how everything is shifting into this new AI form of technology. Now, keep in mind, we've had this technology for quite some time, but others had access to it, and the rest of us didn't. Keep that in mind. So now, whatever they're bringing out, that's going to be implemented in. So we have a lot of visualization that's going on. Visualizing yourself being well, visualizing yourself clearing. And I had thought about something, and I didn't really. I had something come to me that really pointed out something, because I had so many things acting up with my asthma. And I said, gosh, it's been a really wet winter. We've had more wetness than normal, which is good. We're still in it. Um, but there's more of the sensitivity going on. And I had Spirit bring something very interesting to me and showed me something. I was like, oh, I forgot all about this. So I have to go in and go clear that. So be aware of times when we were in our staying at home, and if there was chemicals and stuff that you were exposed to in your place of where you were living. That's a healing timeline. That's a toxic, excuse me, that's a toxic timeline that needs to be cleared out. So I finally got information on that too. And I was like, wow, okay, that makes a lot of sense. We still need courage, but there's a 34 here. That's the spirit of 7. And then we got the halls of learning, spiritual guides, confirmation, great lessons. Now, I talked about this on my priestess page on my Instagram, and we got tossed. So now it's finishing up over here. We got the halls of learning, the spirit guides, the confirmation, and the great lessons. So above that, we have the goddess Baran, which is power, fill my cup, number 26. So filling up the cup. When we're feeling kind of drained and emptied out, the waters are a part of our emotional self where we have to nourish ourselves. So if you're someone that needs to take a nice healing bath, take a bath. Get your butt in that bath water and rinse your body off. There are so many people out there being of service, and you're going in and out of places, hospitals, and people's homes, and stores, and places. You're picking up a lot of stuff. This is a good time when you should be in the water, in your shower or your tub with sea salt and cleansing yourself, getting that stuff off of your auric field. Those that have never done a sea salt cleanse, if you've never experienced it, you should do it and feel that. Feel the difference. After you get out of the shower, you'll feel lighter. You'll sleep better because you got all that stuff out of your energetic field. So I always let people know, take those sea salt showers, take those sea salt baths, and cleanse yourself so that you get that static off, and you can be in your own energy and not have all these energies of other stuff that you walked into that's attached to your energy field. Okay. That you just need to dust that all off, scrape it all off. Okay. And let Mother Earth take care of that. So that looks like a good message about the shadow is moving on, and how we're going to be in the power to fill up our cups of water and visualize, but we still have to stay in the courage, and the hall of learning is still, we're down here learning lessons. And karmic wise, karma is playing out a big picture right now. And I talk about that on my Instagram. Not going to do it here, but the karma plays out really big. We're going to be, it's just the way I do it. You have to take a look at it because I can't put it directly how I want to say it over here. But I say it over there because it's kind of funny the way I did it. So, anyway, with that being said, everyone enjoy the rest of your day. Please be aware that sometime this week I will have those 2 new elixirs up, and I'm looking forward to hearing how some of you feel about it, your experiences. How did it make you feel? The golden light elixir codes have been really coming through, and that is really anchoring in deeper healing into the DNA and into the pineal gland. That's all I'm being told about it right now. And it's calibrating it. So I think that is really cool. I get a good joy out of making my elixirs. And it's all done with the spiral light. And I love how I get the upgrades of information to bring those in. And I go and I let people know, hey, the new elixir's out. Would you like to have it dropped, airdrop to you? People, yes, let me go, guys. I'd love to have it. I'll be like, sure. All right, so everyone be good to themselves, and I am going to enjoy the rest of my day and make sure everybody's needs are taken care of. Be good to yourself, take care of you. Don't worry about all the distractions going on outside of you because that's just a lower vibration. That's just distractions. Okay, stay divinely aligned, stay here. Don't be down here. You want to be up here. All right. Be good to yourself. Stay grounded. Stay centered. Nourish yourself with your water. If you've been craving salt, it's because of the fact that the frequencies are so high. And we have so much of the plasmic light hitting us, and that sun trajectory has been so active. The salt is actually helping you to keep your body hydrated when you're drinking the water. So it helps you to keep that water in. It helps you to keep your body in balance so that you're not becoming super dehydrated. Okay. So don't be fretting too much about, oh my gosh, I'm craving all this salt and what's wrong with me? Just make sure you're balancing with that water. All right, lovelies. Be good to yourself. Much love. Thank you for joining me here on Be So Light. Always surround yourself in that GSL, that good spiritual love, and be right in your light. All right. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye.